Make a silver grill with us from start to finish. This is where the magic happens. What's your favorite part of the process?
Not this part.
Don't be weird.
I love the whole process. My favorite, probably design.
I think it's what you're really good at because you're so creative. The equipment to cast is so expensive. Pretty much every time that our business is like leveled up, we have turned the profit into more machinery or upgrading our machinery. Started out with all Weaver stuff, which Weaver is great for beginners. But as far as like machine maintenance and stuff, now we're using the KayaCast, and it's a lot better. It's a lot easier to maintain and keep the machine running well. So you have a strong pull, a strong suction, literally keeping it a well-oiled machine. So this is the printer we use. Yopai. What? It's not the printer? Oh, Elegoo.
You're Elegoo.
First step is heating up the resin. Use a jewelry specific resin, and then we'll get to printing. Now I'm just getting the heater so we can heat the resin up. This is our equipment shelf. We put everything on here. And then we have some tables, music. You get the vibes.
So deep.
And you've been slimed. You know what that is?
Oh.
When did you start learning how to do this? 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
You're really good to just have learned 2 years ago.
What are you trying to say? Not lying?
No, I'm saying you're really good.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I would have worn better clothes if I known we were shooting a documentary today.
3 days later.
Now that is what we like to see. Now that the prints have come out,
These things plastered up.
we got to get them sprued up and plastered up. And then we'll start the cast, what, tonight? Run it overnight. We'll pour the metal in the morning, So this is the prints all goopified. And then they come over here. They get baths. And that's how they get clean. If you don't know, casting is a 14-hour burnout. Now that we have the programmable furnace, we can run it overnight and then wake up. There's a few steps that you have to do before you pour the metal. Obviously, you have to like prepare it and melt it and everything, and that you do about an hour before, but all of those steps take place in that hour. For the 13 hours with the programmable oven, we can be hands-free. We let it go overnight, and when we wake up in the morning, it's ready to go. 3, 2, 1. You're on air.
Oh, I'm on air.
You're on air. Well, next we gotta chop the supports off, and then we'll put it on the sprues and put it on the sprue tree and get it set. This will be the base of the sprue tree. 5 little small sets going on this tree. Okay, so you might be wondering, oh, do you know how much metal to do? The answer is you have to weigh the resin or the wax, whatever medium that you're working with, and then multiply it by the specific gravity. So silver, 10 karat gold, 14 karat gold, 24 karat gold, 9 karat gold, every different type of metal, any different alloy has a different specific gravity. You have to multiply, each one has a specific number. Silver is 10.4. This is the button, so this is the base that we build the sprue tree on, and we need to weigh this first. Then after we've built the sprue tree, we'll weigh this again with the tree on it to know exactly how much material we'll need, and then make the calculations and go from there. That's what I let her. Make sure you wear a mask. When you're spruing, one thing to think about is that any amount of material that you use, you have to be able to account for in metal. So if you're making really long sprues, unnecessarily tall bases, you have to account for that, and that's where it gets pricey. Especially with gold, like I would never have a base this tall. If we're casting gold, I'll do a little baby nugget at the top just for the flow of the metal, because gold is denser than silver, and so it needs that extra help to flow. But I also try to keep the sprues really short, like with silver. I'll normally do a sprue about that length, and I could cut it down if I wanted, but don't really need to. And then the general rule of thumb is to put your heavier pieces at the bottom, because whenever it casts, it's tilted like this. So the top pieces are what's gonna get the most flow, and then you want your smaller pieces at the bottom. All right, this is the base I've got going. So you can see the red, even this was like a little bit taller than I really needed. So I'll chop that off so we don't have to account for that. Now, so we know how much silver we need. So 148.2 minus 144.3 is what our button weighs times 10.4. And we'll round it up, so we need 41 grams of silver. 41 grams. Shout out Surefire. So before we put the plaster in, this is the flask, and we gotta tape it up. And you gotta tape it up really well. Otherwise, the vacuum of the casting machine will pull the plaster out of the tape. So you gotta double tape it, triple tape it, quadruple tape it. Whenever you're done taping, you can put your button in there. This is the plaster making, and you always put plaster into water. Mix for 4, vacuum for 1, pour for 1, vacuum for 2 minutes, that is. Final step is vacuuming in the flask for 2 minutes. It's the next day, and we've been, oh, I almost fell down the stairs. Broke my ankle. We're burning out all night. So you can see it's at 12:51:52. So it does slow ramps up and down. That's also why the programmable furnace is very good, because whenever Zane was like doing it manually before, he was having to manually do the ramps, which is crazy talk. It's like 8 in the morning, and then we'll come back and pour it, put it in at 10, so 12. Is the metal already melted? Oh, sweet. Pressure going up. One thing to note, we've been using like our old flask pretty much this whole entire time, and we noticed that we were having to like push down a lot whenever we were putting the flask into the casting machine to get suction, to get the pressure to hook. Got a new flask, and this time it just caught automatically, suctioned perfectly. So sometimes just the little things make all the difference. We try to never use a gasket, couldn't think of the word, more than twice. So make sure you're having a new gasket, at least gauge for every time. And then sometimes just getting new little small equipment pieces make a big difference whenever you're having it. Let it cool until it gets black. It takes about 5 minutes, and then we will quench it. This is the chef. Machines are just cooling down, but I think it's ready to go. This is the most satisfying part. And there's the grillz. They all came out perfect. This is the sprue tray. Looks so good. And then we'll just clean all the rest of the plaster off, and then it will go to the pickle pot. All right, and this is what we're working with now that we've got the pieces pickled and then clipped off the sprue tree. So you can see we still have the sprues on the back. This is a little set for someone. And then this is a little 2-piece set. This is actually a top, so it's gonna go like that. So now it just needs to be sanded and polished and the sprue filed off the back, and these will be all good to go to their forever homes. This is actually a practice piece. So we're gonna practice setting some pave stones in this one. This is what's left from the sprue base. I'm gonna start finishing the pieces, then they will be all ready to be picked up and fitted. Who did that?
Can you even see it if I